ejebo ejanya ba wedru eda na Ghana fo dodo na enida so etwen eye eda Operation Recover All Loot eye the oral team no ombe meti Mahama na finally enhwemu ne nema omatima gada evidence ni date omatima collect no omode be Mahama na Mahama so beto so a prosecute obi omo ho ebom labusia ene Monday yi ana Operation Recover All Loot omo meti Mahama edo omo data ema no na nsemu a ewo mu no edin ahodo ewo mu no enya asem kuma aha ye Penyah blog media mesrewa say obe like video no na obe subscribe channel so na obe click bell notification icon so na obe kire wadwen area ma me e comment section mesrewa ni die mu abusuya yam build the family together what I say let's build the family together aha ye de no kredi ene ye adwuma ye twantro asemba ase de tie ne be kan sa ite ni die mu subscribe to channel no eya no abomodi answer like video no aka ho e de ama me Etebeka ya 7th December 2024 ya tobe wi ya Mahama wen ye na and of forming team benefit Operation Recover All Loot ombo tell say the past government for the past 8 years amemu e course no obi a wabokro no obi obokro no e wo past government no bia de state asset bia wo faaye omane yapade bia wawia de omo enkonkofo enyina so enye investigation obi ebebu abone bia de omo ntwe ne din ema ono Mahama na onimbia odebeye etra Ghana fo nyina ni da so e twen so Kenya eye nice etino ye twen e da kra omode omo data adwuma na Mahama de show monsa no omo ede omo feedback enum omo outcome ebebe Mahama say na adwuma na share say ne yetimi aye ede abedro Ghana fo nyina e twen eti ene na His Excellency John Mahama emiti the oral team oji data from them now before that kwani hu say lawyer Martin Pebu awaka oral team no hono emiti join news presenter baako and I trend say oh Akufo Addo wonyina ye if he said national cathedral and ceremony he has a lot of questions to answer.
So the same thing, as I said, as a lawyer, like you said, when I put on my legal thinking cap, I can't say there's a prima facie case because, as I mentioned, our mandate was limited. Receive petitions, leads, tips, queues. Okay. And so then it's also
incumbent on the AG.
Yes.
To gather the hardcore investigations to get evidence.
Yes, absolutely. Some of what we also have may help in that direction. So let's say, as I mentioned earlier, using National Cathedral as an example, you will get clear evidence where the President Akufo Addo said there will be no state funding. Then later he started pumping in money, good, without express parliamentary approval. So those are questions he would have to answer for, because you tell the Ghanaian people and you tell the Supreme Court that you are not doing state funding. Then after the Supreme Court decision saying that yes, the National Cathedral project can go on, then you begin to pump money, because you read the Supreme Court judgment, that's Kabile's case, Kwabena Bonfrey versus Attorney General. You would see that in the judgment, the Supreme Court says, well, fortunately, government is not putting funding in there. Government is not funding it. It is land. At that stage, it's land that government give. And the Supreme Court said, yes, government may give land, but they are not adding money.
What I say, Akufo Addo question baby say obe ya no efa National Cathedral and seven National Cathedral na asofo no twi Akufo Addo di ye no. Eya na eye me ya se ye jai asofo na the blame na ebo Akufo Addo. Eya na eye me ya pa, but enke ye kan e was enke timi hold asofo no responsible. Omu ya kromfo angasa. Because man panyin timi the adwuma ahye mo nsa na mo di a asofo mu a na mo di. Eya na me ya se ye de subo no bo Akufo Addo nko a. I was enke ye chichi asofo mu nyina ka ho bi. And that is lawyer Martin Pebu. No, we are now chairman for the oral team. That is Honorable Okudeta Blackwana, honor the chairperson for the oral team. No, or did not be said ever Mahama a Jumaswa or Matimiabo, ever oral team Mahama the Shannon Sam.
At oralgh.org. Her Excellency the Vice President was also generous to offer us her conference room as our secretariat. So that served as our secretariat. So we didn't have to pay rent for our meetings. We also want to use this opportunity to thank the young Ghanaians who volunteered, because every Ghanaian is passionate about the success of oral. IT experts volunteered to set up this platform for us free of charge. So the toll-free lines, the websites, these are patriotic Ghanaians who did not demand any compensation from us. And we want to convey the appreciation of Ghanaians to these young, patriotic, selfless Ghanaians. by way of quick numbers, and these are very important numbers, we received 1,493 calls through the toll-free line, 1,493. We also received 924 emails. Fortunately, all of these calls are recorded automatically, and all the emails have also been preserved for verification and validation. So in total, the number of complaints received amounts to 2,417. So those who had any doubt about how relevant and how timely the president's intervention was at the time, this is your evidence. 2,417 complaints received. Where will all of these people have gone if President Mahama had not set up the oral preparatory team? So President Mahama has been vindicated. It was a masterstroke. It was the right decision for our country, and it has deepened transparency and accountable governance. Over the last 53 days, we have reviewed these petitions. 44 were received directly from civil society organizations and other public-spirited citizens. 59 of the 230 cases reviewed containing the documents we'll be submitting today were cases that had come up during the period the NDC was in opposition. But we decided to go back to those matters and carry out a detailed review. And all of those are contained. So today we will be presenting a summary of these reports, 230 of them which have been analyzed in greater detail. Your Excellency, we also want to bring to your attention that even before we move to phase 2 of oral, which is going to focus on the actual recoveries, the actual retrievals, we have identified 10 initial benefits of oral, and we want to run through them quickly. We take the view that oral has deepened transparency and accountability. It has really increased public awareness about the need to protect state assets. And it is also serving as a guide to the new government. And government officials are now more conscious of the need to make sure that, as President Mahama has consistently said, charity begins at home. Secondly, thanks to the establishment of oral, we have been able to save 50 bungalows that were on the verge of being demolished. 50 bungalows. We received distress calls from public servants who said people had showed up, so-called private developers, to demolish their bungalows. And in the report, we have provided the detailed list of these bungalows, some belonging to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Gender, Social Protection, the CSIR, and all of that. But for the president establishing oral, we take the view that all of these 50 bungalows will have been demolished. So what we did is that when we received the complaints, the distress calls, we immediately called the National Security Committee. And we were very privileged because of the president's foresight. He strategically positioned COP Kofi Boakye in oral and also in the National Security Committee. So as soon as the reports come, he then relays the information to National Security Committee. So media, please get it clear. We are not saying that we, Team Oral, physically went to prevent demolition of bungalows. No, that was not part of our mandate. We were only to receive complaints. But as responsible, conscientious citizens, it will be irresponsible to receive the complaints and just allow those bungalows to be demolished. So immediately, national security is informed, and then they act. So please ignore all of those barrage of unfair and baseless attacks that Oral has suffered. We did not carry out any fiscal operation on the ground. We only report to national security, and then they act. We also collaborated with national security to save the Northern Development Authority lands at cantonments. A private developer overnight on the eve of the president's inauguration moved in overnight to erect a wall divided the property into half. Some of you are conversant with that land. It's just opposite the U.S. Embassy, very prime land. That is where the Constitution Review Commission used to sit under Dr. Raymond Atuguba. It was allocated to the Northern Development Authority, and these private developers claim that it now belongs to them. But the staff of NDA called us, and we promptly called National Security, and they moved in. So we were able to save that land. National Security has since demolished the wall, and so the land is safe for.
In 2021, Chama Ekaye, but the moment my boy or manager party will be home by many bungalows and private, individuals, Edo Museto, so state lands, and your body will be by say, Omotimi, a save for the betterment of this country. He made mention of many of them. The say was a OT whom be no carry no. And I'm Mahama Eka side. Mahama chose okay, my idea, my money, you my money, yo. Now make sure say full list now, mother mamma, dear, ha, Ayɛka. My mamma bodini, but full list of the mamma, dear, but who listen, dear woman. Now, Madam Attorney General, I will see to say, obey in-depth investigation, proper investigation. Now, Obia the two betray, Obia be body there. Now, so by yes.
Let me proceed on existing protocol and acknowledge all of you, especially members of the oral team. It is with great solemnity and a deep sense of duty that I receive this comprehensive report of Operation Recover All the Loot, an initiative that represents our unwavering commitment to the fight against corruption, financial malfeasance, and the misappropriation of public resources. From the onset of my administration, I made it clear that Ghana's resources belong to the people of Ghana and must be used judicially for their collective good. The diversion of public funds for personal gain undermines development, it erodes public trust, and deepens inequality. It is for this reason that Operation Recover All the Loot was launched, to ensure that what had been wrongfully taken from the state is restored to its rightful owners, the Ghanaian people. I therefore wish to commend the members of this team for their dedication and professionalism in carrying out this vital national assignments without compensation, without expectation of any remuneration. The meticulous investigations, legal actions, and asset recoveries reflected in this report are a testament to the seriousness with which this government approaches the issue of accountability and good governance. The findings of this report make for sober reading. They reveal the scale of financial leakages that have cost our nation dearly. Resources that should have been invested in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and social development. But they also offer hope that through our collective efforts, we can reclaim what is ours and deter future acts of economic sabotage. As we receive this report, let me assure the Ghanaian people that the work does not end here. The recommendations of the report will be carefully studied, and where legal action and investigations are warranted, they will be pursued without fear or favor. Every peso recovered will be channeled back into national development, and mechanisms will be strengthened to prevent such losses in the future. I have promptly handed over the report to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, and I give him firm instructions to commence immediate investigations into the cases reported in here with a view to prosecuting anyone found liable for corruption or related offenses. To those who think they can defraud the state and escape justice, let this serve as a strong warning. Ghana is no longer a safe haven for corruption. To those who stand for integrity, accountability, and the rule of law, I assure you that this government remains your steadfast partner in building a nation where honesty and hard work are rewarded. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a defining moment in our fight against corruption. We must all play our parts, citizens, civil society, the media, and public officials alike. Together, we will build a Ghana that is just, transparent, and prosperous for generations to come. I thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
There was the oral team in the pompons or Hana Edro, Omodo data, Ama Mahama, feedback, Omoda Mana, Ama Mahama to approach us to Attorney General, it's year train. A dear who do a baby through my bar, the baby woman, any dear, a better was or more prosecution. Then you know baby a suicide, Edibody honor, Ebefa. Message us any day, my high Penyah broke me the ha. Yet no credit any argument. We don't do bias. Asemba said that you can't say, you can be movie, any movie, Papa by Becca, Bonne Baswa. You better tell the message was there was your over joining family, no over subscribe to channel, no subscribe to channel, no. Now I like it this particular video in Chomunko, like a video, no. Let's tell you ever comment section. I Penyah Blog Media.